Hello! Welcome to another video. Today we will be finally finishing off my old Wreck This journal. I put a lot of time and a lot of work into this throughout the years, but I never quite finished it. So I think it's time to finish it off. If you don't know what a Wreck This journal is, it is a book by Carrie Smith that basically on every page has a prompt on how to wreck the journal, kind of self-explanatory. So a lot of people will full out destroy this book, and I mean there's nothing left by the time you're done. But there's a lot of people like me who are artists, and we like to use this almost as a glorified sketchbook that kind of has prompts on every page. So that's what I've been doing. There's lots of artwork in here, a lot of cringy artwork I might add because this was done a long time ago. But it still has not been finished, and I think let's get it done today. So this is the Wreck This journal here. As you can see, it's gotten quite thick. I put a lot of work into this. So it was started the summer after 8th grade, I believe. 2016, August 13th if we're being exact. And I worked on it throughout 9th grade and 10th grade, a little bit in 11th grade, but then I kind of stopped. I had other things to do. And I figured this book really encapsulates what I went through in high school. And I think since I'm going to university now in 2 weeks, I think it's time we finally finish it up, fill the last, I don't even know how many pages are left, and we can say it's done. We can move on from that chapter of my life. So, what will we be doing today? Today, we are going to have a little flip through, see what's in here. I haven't looked through this in ages. We're gonna see what little grade 9 me did here, and we'll be filling in any pages that are blank or that have unfinished work in them. And then we can finally say that it's done. It almost feels a bit weird now to add more to this because this book, when I look through this, I distinctly just have this image in my head of what my life was like at the time of making this. And I feel like I'm in such a different place now. It's gonna be a bit jarring to put some of my newer work in here, but I think I'd rather have it be my entire high school experience in one book. So yeah, we're gonna see what needs filling and do that. So without further ado, let's have a little look through here and see what still needs to be done. Okay, so here is my Wreck This journal. I have not looked through here in a hot minute. So we're gonna find out what's in here together. So keep in mind, most of this was done in 8th, 9th, 10th grade. So again, I wasn't very good at art back then. If you've seen my sketchbook tour, from my high school sketchbook tour, I was not good at art back then. So let's see what's in here and what I need to get done. So this is the cover. It has a string around here. You'll see why soon. So the cover was just a really poorly done, might I say, galaxy. I think this was with acrylic paint, so yeah, never my strong point. Anyway, so that's the cover. She's thick. She is thick. There's a lot of stuff in here. So let's get to flipping through. First page we have here is just the intro page. Later in the journal it says to doodle over all these pages, so I have done that. So we see here started August 13th, 2016. That's kind of crazy. Also, this was pink here, but it completely faded out, so that's great. So anyway, just cupcakes here. TARDIS on the copyright page. Yep. Slightly better watercolor galaxy here. Yeah, I liked painting galaxies. So here, I'm just censoring out my phone number and address. This was the first page I did in here, if I remember correctly, which is the name page. So you write your name in a bunch of different ways. And I decorated it with like a little hill. I don't know. Again, this was in 8th grade when I was scared of color. I was very scared to use any kind of pressure. Yep. Anyway, here is just a picture of me. I remember I printed this out and put it in here because my plan with it was to make like a poster, like an Azkaban kind of, have you seen this wizard kind of poster, and I wanted it to be like next to like the Who owns this book page. Not that these two themes would go together, I don't know. Anyway, so that's something we can do. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so the first page that I ended up doing is the page next to the name page. I decided to stick with my original idea from ages ago and do the Azkaban Wanted poster. So I planned on doing this with colored pencil, but then quickly realized I think it would look a bit better if I used chalk pastels. But I still used my black Prismacolor color pencil to add a border to the photo. I stuck that photo in there who knows how many years ago, and fun fact, that was one of my original headshots for acting purposes. Fun. Anyway, at the top I decided to write, "Have you seen this witch?" instead of "Have you seen this wizard?" because by Harry Potter standards I would be a witch because I am a female. Yep. Anywho, I was planning on doing this all with colored pencil, as I said earlier. But I decided I need a bit of a crisper line, so I went with a Muji gel pen for the writing. These pens are phenomenal. If you've never used one, I highly recommend. Anyway, I started writing out the words, and then I went over and made them a bit thicker. I noticed from some research online that the Azkaban posters, the font that's used is kind of rough, kind of sketchy, so I tried to emulate that in my piece. I don't know how well I did that, but anyway, so I just wrote, "Have you seen this witch?" Fun! Again, it doesn't really totally go with the page next to it, but I mean, that was the first page I ever did in this book, and I've evolved a bit since then, so yeah. Okay, now here I decided to add one of those little Azkaban, like, prisoner number tab thing. I don't know what those would be called, but you know what Sirius Black has in his posters in Harry Potter. And yes, I did directly copy his because I was too lazy to design my own. So anyway, I got a scrap piece of paper and started laying out how big I wanted this little tab to be. And then, well, found a reference photo and copied it directly. Again, using that Muji gel pen, which I love so much. I also used a bit of Micron to fill in the spots that were a bit larger than I needed with my gel pen. So, in the writing on the tab, there are, well, 2 symbols and then 390, which was Sirius Black's number. I would have made my own, but you know what? Sirius has always been my favorite Harry Potter character, so why not? So here I am, writing out the numbers, and then at the top I wrote Azkaban Prison, well, and then colored around it because that's how it looks in the movie. After this, I then proceeded to cut it out and glue it into the journal over top of my photo. As you can see, here now I'm erasing the pencil marks, but anyway, I'm gluing it in now. At the end, I ended up covering this page with packing tape. That was originally what I did before I started sealing pages with, like, sealing spray. But anyway, I was doing some stuff to this page later with chalk pastels, and there's glued on aspects, and I didn't want anything to risk falling out, so I did cover it in packing tape again. You know, little nod to what I used to do. Here we got out my Faber-Castell chalk pastels. Haven't used these very much, so they look pretty new. And I did a couple tests of different tans and browns, and ended up finding a combination that I liked to make this page look a bit more weathered and worn, and like an actual poster. I don't know how successful this technique was, but I think it turned out not bad. If you're wondering why the page is so bright white compared to other pages in the Wreck This Journal, on the page before this I had done a watercolor galaxy and it bled through a little bit, so this is actually a piece of printer paper that's over top of the page, so yeah. That's also why it's kind of not fully flush to the book on the right hand side. It was sticking up a little bit, which I added on some tape later to stick it down. So here we got out my box of washi tape. That box was very kindly given to me by my friend Mar for my birthday, and I just picked out any washi tapes that I thought might work with the page and picked one that I liked. I probably should have picked a slightly thicker one because this one didn't quite do what I wanted, which was really seal the page onto the book. Took a couple tries to get that on there. I ended up having to add some more, but I mean, I don't think it looks too bad. And I think it also creates a nice separation between the two pages. Yeah, then I cut off the excess tape and I was done with that page. I think it turned out pretty well for my first page I've done in here in many years. Yeah, what do you guys think? And here is the final product. Let's get back to that flip through and see what other pages we're gonna get done today. Okay, let's see what else is in here that I need to do. Here's the instructions page. Oh boy. Oh boy. See, my art has improved, guys. It has improved. So these are the instructions. I just colored it in and added a background, and I turned this little instruction arrow into a sign with other things. So like the front cover's this way. Wow, the North Pole's that way. Hogwarts. Gallifrey. Next exit creativity. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so cringy, but this was just who I was back then, and I kind of like having this as a souvenir. Okay. Here were the materials page. So, I mean, all the materials were written out, so I just illustrated a couple of them and colored it in. And here we have add your own page numbers, which, I mean, I did. I numbered all the pages. And then I added numbers in the background, which basically every single person who does Wreck This Journal does. I should take a minute here to say that when I started this book, I was very heavily inspired by other people doing Wreck This Journal on both YouTube and Pinterest. So if you see something that you've maybe seen before, you know, I tried to never just directly copy anyone, but I took a lot of heavily inspired pieces from people. So one creator in particular I will shout out is Mariah Elizabeth on YouTube. I think she's the reason almost everyone starts this book, but you might see some things emulating her style in here, so just be aware of that. Flipping over. I quite like this page. So this was Crack the Spine. So this was the first thing I did, but I mean, obviously the spine is bent completely now, but I cracked the spine first thing, and I love cracking spines of books. And I just drew a little skeleton here who has cracked his spine. This page was originally leave this page blank on purpose, but I changed it to leave this page black on purpose. Well, cause the page is black, and then also I could draw Sirius black. You know, hot puns, that's great. This is actually an okay drawing for what my style used to be, so. Stand here, wipe your feet, jump up and down. So here is a page, the first page you can see that was very heavily inspired by Mariah Elizabeth, because I think she did the exact same thing. But I know I had planned, because I stepped on here with flip-flops, and I had planned to have my dog also step on here with some paint on his paw, or dirt or something, I don't know. So I think I should probably do that too. So I'll get that done. There. So take 1 second. Okay. Here's what we're using. Okay, are you ready, buddy?
Good boy, stay.
Good boy. Good boy.
Good boy. Let's see the final product.
That's not bad. Moving on. Here was pour, spill, drip, spit, fling your coffee here, but I changed it to chai tea because coffee is disgusting. So I did that. You can kind of see it's splattered all over the page, and I drew a little Starbucks logo, even though I don't think it was a Starbucks drink, but you know. Here we go, a blank page. Poke holes in this page using a pencil. I've just remembered that I was putting this page off until I finished the page underneath it so that I didn't have to draw around the hole that's being poked, so I should probably finish that page first, but let's see what it is first. So this is draw fat lines and thin, pushing really hard with the pencil. So I made this little barcode, just some random lines. I don't think if you scan this it'll be anything. And some zebra print, and I was drawing a zebra here and I never finished. So I think this, 2018, so this is probably the most recent thing I've done in here, because it's been a hot minute since I've used this book. So this is probably the most recent thing in here, and it's unfinished. So I would like to finish this up, and then I can go back and do the whole poking here. So yeah, we'll finish that. Okay, let's finish up the last page for the day. So we're doing draw fat lines and thin, and I'm gonna finish up my zebra, which I started back in 2018. I was planning on using pen to finish it up, as you can see me there with it, but I decided to stay a bit more true to the original drawing, honor what I had done back then, and I started using a black colored pencil just to add a bit more definition than what was there, but I kept all of the original lines, no matter how good or bad they were. And I actually did manage to find the same original reference photo I'd used on Google Images, so you can see that there on my phone on the right. I did change up the legs of it originally. I don't know what compelled me to do that back in 2018. I never strayed far off of reference photos back then, but I don't know, I'm glad I did. It looks okay. So I darkened all the lines that were already there and added the ones that were missing using the black colored pencil. More or less staying true to the reference photo. Yeah. Now that we're done with the illustration, I had already written at the bottom the date when I was originally drawing this, and so I just went over it with a micron and then wrote today's date as well to show that this page has taken a long time. And then I decided to do a watercolor background because it looked a bit plain, so I added some tape to make sure I wouldn't get any on the page next to it. I went into this not really having any plans. I just knew I wanted some kind of like deserty, not desert, like African savanna kind of background. So I went in just with a wash of water first, so that it would be a bit more blendable, just depending on what I decided to do. And then I went in with some brown watercolors and made some dirt for him to stand on. I didn't know what I was doing, didn't have a plan, but I had originally wanted to do a full background, but after just putting down some dirt for him, I actually kind of liked how it looked, so I just left it there. I figured, why ruin something when it looks okay? I started this page so long ago, I just want to be done with it, and I liked the way it looked like this, so yeah. I just used some different colors of brown to add some variation to the ground underneath him, and then I also went in with a bit of gray mixed with the brown to add a shadow for him afterward. And I actually quite like how it turned out, and it feels really good to have this page done after so many years of it just sitting like this on a shelf, unfinished. So yeah, that's what I did with this page. I hope you guys like it. This is the last page we're going to do in this episode just because of time purposes. There I am peeling off the tape. So yeah, here is the finished product. I hope you guys like it, because I think I do. I think it turned out okay. Hey, I'm back. So we obviously didn't finish my Wreck This Journal in this video as I had wanted to. Yeah, we did 3 pages out of the many more that need doing. I actually started this video about a week and a half ago now. I planned on doing it all in one day, but life's been a bit crazy, I guess. My goal was to have this done before I started university, but I now start university in a couple days. Oh my gosh, so it's not getting done. But I do still want to keep working on it, and I might make some more videos because it's been fun and I've been enjoying it. But if I was this busy the last couple weeks of summer before school starts, I can only imagine how busy I'm gonna be after school starts. So I don't know when this is gonna get done, but I hope it can get done soon so I can start something new. Yeah. Well, we did at least get 3 pages done. The first being the Have You Seen This Witch page, next to the name page. Sorry, I'm covering my address again. After that, we finally finished up the Stand Here page. So this page, I had originally done this, but we got my dog to stand here. I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't use anything that would make his feet uncomfortable. I didn't want to irritate him at all because he is my best friend, so I didn't want to hurt him at all. So what we ended up using for this was mostly mud with a tiny bit of very, very diluted water-soluble paint, so that it would leave a bit more of an impression. And then we gave his foot a nice cleaning afterwards. So he is fine, do not worry. I did not put like oil paint on his foot, like, no, he's fine. So that was the second page we did. And the last page we did was we completed this one, which, I mean, I finally finished my zebra that I started on September 22nd, 2018. Finished it today, September 2nd, 2020. And I was gonna do a full watercolor background, but I just liked the way it was looking like this, so I stopped. So obviously we still have a lot to do in here. So I don't know when that will be getting done, but I do promise I will finish this. And I might do some pages off camera, but I would like to make more videos about this guy, because this has been a journey, it's a lot of fun, and I want to document it. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for if I ever post another video working in here. Again, I'm starting university. I don't know how busy I'm gonna be, especially considering it's online because of COVID. So we're gonna see how busy I'll be, and depending on that, we'll get something done here, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!